Hello and welcome back to Starfield. We're still in New Atlantis. And last time we did a little bit of exploring, we did some side questing, and we still have a bunch of side stuff to do. Our main mission will take us to the Sol system, which I'm very excited to. But we also have a bunch of stuff here in New Atlantis. So those are done. So I guess what I could do here, Sergeant Yumi wanted to talk to us again, but then there's also the scientist by the tree here in New Atlantis and the bartender at the viewport. Like, let's talk to the bartender. Need a drink after what we've been through. Just running around.
I flew my first starship. It was virtual, but still.
Okay.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. That's wow.
You didn't hear this from me, but those eclectic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both.
Okay.
It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted into space dust.
That's interesting. Alright. To the spaceport. Oh, that's the viewport. Okay. Hopefully they have some strong drinks. Can I scan this? Doesn't really look very inviting. Gotta be honest. This is Masana.
Hey there. Always nice to see a new face. First time in New Atlantis?
I didn't think it was that obvious.
Oh boy. I didn't mean for you to take it personally. It's just something to say to customers. Break the ice. Know what I mean? Listen, you just relax. Make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. That work for you, new girl? Let me know if there's anything I can get you.
It was definitely way more inviting than this place looks. Are there any good rumors lately?
Bit of a slow news day around here. Ah, well, speaking of news, some folks are convinced David Barron, you know, the SSN anchor, is some sort of Freestar sympathizer.
Ooh.
Ridiculous.
Not sure
if
what
you
that
ask
means,
me.
but
Sure, they ran a couple of
sounds
stories
juicy.
about Aquila City that weren't totally critical, but come on. Have you ever been? It's really not that bad. Anyway, that's the sort of high-stakes stuff people talk up while waiting on a flight. So glad you asked, aren't you? I can tell.
So, can I buy a drink?
Sure thing. What can I get you?
I want a Chardonnay or anything. Proper. Departure time. Bartender's choice. New arrival. Classic highball. Whiskey soda garnished with lemon. Guess that's a beer. Sparkling wine. Newport Original, inspired by the classic vodka screwdriver made with alien fruit. Very expensive, but gotta have one. Thank you. Business seems to be booming for you.
Yep. Spaceport traffic keeps me pretty busy. But just between you and me, I've got something in the works that'll change everything.
Okay.
A new drink that'll make this place famous. Galaxy-wide.
Well, I have to give this a try.
You would love it, I guarantee. Only, I can't make you one right now. Don't have the ingredients.
Okay, what do you need?
I made a deal with a hauler to bring me some small samples of an ingredient I think will make all the difference. But it never showed up. Turns out the guy I hired was also hired by a few other folks. The kind of folks who ship Less than
I
legal
see.
cargo. Security got wind, and the whole lot was impounded. Now they're just sitting on it, taking their sweet time like they always do. It's killing me.
Sounds like the sort of thing that could drive one to drink.
Very clever of you. Your parents must
Yeah,
be so
thank you.
proud.
Thank you.
And really, I'm not even certain this is what I need to finish the recipe. I think it is. I need to get my hands on that cargo.
Well, it sounds like you need a helping hand. But, why does that have an ominous tone to it? Yeah.
I mean, doing something about this won't exactly be on the straight and narrow, will it?
Okay, fair. It sounds like you need a helping hand.
I really do. It's gonna keep me awake nights if I don't try. Before we say anything else, I am in no way asking you to do anything
Of course
that
not.
might violate any of the many, many laws in place here in New Atlantis or the larger United Colonies.
Of course not.
This is just one friend talking to another friend, asking if maybe that friend could possibly find a way to get her important cargo
Sure.
out of the impound. And if, hypothetically,
Totally
that were done
hypothetical.
in a less than 100% legal way, well, that might not be the worst thing in the world.
I like her.
You, with me on this?
Surely you're not seriously considering this course of action. The last thing we need is UC security on our backs.
Who do I need to kill? Okay, maybe we won't go that far. I'm here for you. I'll do whatever I can.
God, you have no idea
Our
what a
mom
relief
disliked
this
that.
is.
Ooh.
I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just figure there has to be a way to get what I need.
Yeah, do you have any information to go off on?
I know a few things, but not much. The cargo is being held down at the spaceport, not in the security office. Still, they use the same access cards. If you had one, it'd work. How or why you would have a UC security access card is none of my business, of course. I'm sure I'm better off not knowing. Beyond that, the ship decks over there might also be able to get in. I don't know any of them, or I'd be talking to them instead of you. No offense.
Fair. What have you tried already?
Like I said, I submitted the usual security release forms. But because my cargo is tied up with a bunch of, again, totally unrelated illegal stuff, I don't expect the forms to matter. At all. I went and talked to an officer at the office, too. Yumi. Sergeant, maybe? He was polite, but unhelpful. I declined to suggest that as their new slogan. New Atlantis Security. Polite, but unhelpful.
Fair.
Truth in advertising, eh?
I like her. I'll figure something out.
I'm not worried. I'm annoyed.
Also fair.
Wait, are you saying I should be worried? No, of course not. It'll be fine. Totally fine. I trust you.
I'll help a fellow bartender. Okay.
See you around.
Well. Well. Let's have a look. Alright. We get there. Guess it's all the way over there. Not sure if it makes sense to maybe talk to Yumi, since we have connections to him already, right?
Hey, no funny
Kinda
stuff with
doubt
that
it, though.
boost pack. Got enough flight traffic as it
I doubt it.
is. You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please.
Security scanners, chemical sniffers. The United Colonies sure isn't taking any chances.
Indeed. That's the grasshopper. That's what I call our ship for now. We also should do a quick save. Who knows what kind of trouble I get myself into here.
Hey, this really isn't a good place for civilians to be hanging around. There's something I can help you with?
You've got some cargo that was impounded. I need to access it.
Yeah, I can't really just let you in there.
Oh, but I'm sure we can work something out.
I hear you.
You think I left the oven on 2-star systems over? You think relative time means my house is burnt down by now? Can't just have anyone going through. I get it. Must be hard for you to say no all the time.
The answer's still no.
God damn it. I don't have time for this.
Don't get bent out of shape. All right, look, don't
Okay,
tell anyone
nice.
I did this for you. I could lose my job over it.
If anyone
I believe
asks,
that
I
it
had
worked.
nothing to do with this. You got it? 1 second.
Okay.
All right, make it quick, will you?
Just quickly grabbing the stuff. I can't believe it worked. Rhubarb. Package for Nissa. Boom pop rhubarb. Let's go. We all have a silver tongue. Can you believe that, Sarah? I can't believe it. That kind of dialogue kind of didn't make any sense, I feel.
How are you today?
You know, the question.
I feel like our argument before was way more
You'll be
reasonable,
scanned
and
as
then
you
we're
enter
like,
the city.
hang on man,
Please keep
I've got no time for this. And he's like, oh, whoa, oh, man, I mean, really, if you're under time pressure, then I just let you in. A little bit bizarre, but okay. I'll take it. Just very charming. You won't believe it, Nissa. You won't believe
I
it.
don't want to sound desperate, but any luck finding my cargo? Hey there, new girl. Hope life is treating you well. Let me know if I can get you anything.
Oh, I got you something. I have a present for you.
Oh, no way. You really got it? I probably don't want to know what you did to get this, right? I mean, I want to know, but it's maybe better if I don't.
Actually, don't worry. No one died getting this.
I certainly hope not. This is a huge deal to me, but it's not worth either of us murdering over.
Just a joke.
Well, look, I can assure this will all be worth it in the end. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you have the first ever sample.
Nice.
On top of that, you get free drinks. Not like unlimited free drinks, but you want a little pick-me-up now and then? I got you covered.
Nice.
I need some time to work on what comes next. But this was the difficult part, I think. Really, thank you so much.
Awesome. With the supernova.
Stop by anytime you like.
Ooh. And we leveled up once again. Fitness, weightlifting, maximum health. That could be nice. So many things, I just don't know. Which to pickpocket. Carrying capacity by 10? I feel like that's not that much, honestly. Health by 10%, that could be nice. Let's go with that. I like a health boost. Can't really go wrong with having more health, right? Okay, so now the question is, do I You have a bunch of these side activities. Or we go to the old neighborhood. Let's do this. Let's head to the Sol system. See if we can find out more about that artifact.
Always good to see another badge.
We're so close. I could feel the heat from the sunbursts, and that's when they said the words.
Anything else you have to say, Sarah, in the meantime?
Cydonia is an industrial town. The people there tend to be concise.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Let's go, my good
Hi.
buddy.
Please disregard. I attempted an informal greeting, but I am dissatisfied with the results.
Can I ask you some personal
I
questions?
believe this is a process known as small talk.
Correct.
It is not my specialty, but I will do my best.
Mine either. What's your read on Barrett?
It is impossible to read Barrett.
Fair enough.
He is neither a book nor a block of code. If you are asking for a summary of my observations on his behavior, I will provide one.
Sure, why not do that? He does seem like quite the character.
Based on my understanding of Barrett, I believe he would be flattered by that assessment.
What does traveling with me compare to traveling with Barrett?
I find you to be a more measured and logical captain than Barrett. It would be quite difficult for another human to be more reckless than him.
Okay.
My likelihood of expiration due to corporeal destruction has been significantly reduced since coming aboard your ship. You should consider this a success.
Ah, also great for you. I'd like to know more about what makes you tick.
My programming dictates that I must answer any question.
How much do you know about humans?
Constellation has seen to it that I possess a near encyclopedic knowledge of human history, art, culture, and science. May I answer a question for you?
Do you speak every human language?
I have been programmed to comprehend all modern and ancient human languages. The only exception is body language. My body is crafted from reinforced metal, and therefore incompatible with such forms of expression.
Fair enough. What was the greatest invention in human history?
Logically, I believe the correct answer to be the airplane, followed shortly by the computer. Humans could not have become a spacefaring species without them. Illogically speaking, I am inclined to believe that books were your greatest invention. I have spent a good deal of time processing works of science fiction. They make good case studies in how your species could have made a mess of its entry into the stars in different ways than you did in reality.
Fair. Know any human jokes?
I am looking at one. I hope that was a suitable response. Constellation did not equip me with a sense
That
of
was a burn.
humor. I have done my best to mimic Barrett's.
Oh, that was a good one. You got me there. What kind of human music do you like?
This is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience enjoyment. However, I find that the music of ancient Japan has a pleasantly mathematical sound. The same is true of the works of European composers from the Baroque period. I have dedicated significant time to processing these compositions and understanding their structure.
All right.
I am prepared for your inquiry.
Also, we have. How did you? We asked that before. How did you become?
Understood.
Okay.
I will see you at a later time.
That's
Listing off
bored.
right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
I don't know. We need to talk? Navigation console. Okay, so if I that's where we have to go. Fuel consumption. We have enough fuel. We'll do that. I'm gonna look around for a second. There was something else that I could do. Oh yeah, there was the research station. Wanted to check if I can do anything here. Heal paste. Don't have anything to. It'd be nice if it would show me anything that I could actually. Helmet mods. Material available? What's the mean? Oh, okay. Okay. I can use it. Grip and stocks. I should be able to. So can I now? Because I just did it. Okay. I did those. I think that's about it. So I don't know if there's any point in. Oh wait, why is there a medpack? Is there food in my cargo? All those. I'm just kind of checking what all landed here. The copper and everything I want in there, but there's also a bunch of other stuff that I didn't know would be there. Resources. Yes, those I did put in there. Okay, let's put those in there. The rest I might be able to sell later on. I don't know if it makes sense to fly manually. I don't think that is even possible. I don't know. Let's go to the Sol system. Jump!
This is United Colonies Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband.
Right.
And we're done. Welcome to Mars.
Thanks. Mars launch pad. Mac factory. Guess we want to Let me go to the launch pad. The scan. Cydonia. Here we come. Exit ship.
I lived on Mars for an entire year, and I'm convinced I'll never get used to the dusty air.
Hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
Thank you. I'm satisfied with that as well. Cydonia. Man, look at this. How did I get down there without breaking my legs?
Heat leeches in the engine, leeches on the hull, multiple leeches in the grav drive.
Suppose that would explain the brownouts. So, what's this going to
I
run?
have enough of these leeches, and I've only seen them twice.
Mid five figures.
5 figures?
Building Cydonia completely underground was a clever way of keeping the city shielded from the harsh Martian landscape.
Okay. Cycling? Look at my bike. Hey, Cydonia, here we are.
Cydonia can have a depressing effect on some people. Make sure to get yourself help before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, do you
That's an interesting greeting. Like, yeah, this place is awful. People suffer from mental illness because of it. So, self-bounty clear.
Look, I get it. But we just filled our last openings. I think we have a couple contracts.
This here is the most important work in the galaxy. We mine the resources that make spaceships possible.
Okay.
Yes?
David Steyards may be
Jack.
the first
Been
major
serving
ship
drinks here for
manufacturer,
over 40 years.
but that doesn't mean we
Few places
haven't
can
kept
offer
up
that
with
kind of
times.
stability.
What's good to drink around here?
Everything. I make it a point not to sell crap. We got beer, wine, and spirits. We don't do too many fancy mixed drinks, at least not the kind you get in Neon or New Atlantis. It's my belief that the only booze worth drinking doesn't need to be mixed with something else to taste good.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for a Vanguard named Moira.
He ain't been around. Went off on patrol. Hasn't been back in since. We're starting to think it might be time to pour one out to the blackest sea.
Wait, the Blackest Sea?
You got another word for it?
He means outer space.
Ma'am.
Okay. Well, we could track him down if he knows patrol route.
Oh, believe me, I've heard it. After about round 3 or 4 was all he would talk about. And he's got a voice that carries. Look, nothing more I'd love than to help out a fellow Martian. Especially one that's missing. But...
What's the but?
He has a tab, and you don't know if he's coming back.
It's a lot of credits, okay? I let it slide for a long time because he's a regular, but if I'm out all that money, I got problems. What do you say?
That's a lot. 1,000? You could need help. You shouldn't put a price on that. Or we could use Sarah. Companion can speak on your behalf. What they will say is written next to their name. Skip to the part where you admit you're lying. Ooh. Well, let me try to persuade him.
Life on Cydonia ain't hard enough. You gonna guilt trip me?
Well, I'm not leaving until you... What matters to you more, the money or Moira's life?
Yeah, I get your point.
We could be the only ones who could find him.
Maybe. Alright, I'll give up. Just trying to earn a living here. Last time he was here, Moira kept yelling about the Lady of Love. Singing songs.
Lady of Love?
All that kind of thing.
Venus? That's only one planet. Hardly an entire patrol route.
I got what I got, okay?
Fine. We'll make do.
Come on, forget it. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Maybe it's not too late
Good
to catch
Venus.
Another long day.
Fiona
While I
Hawks.
may technically work in HR, Tia's really the
Hello there. Do I know you?
I don't know.
I hope. I just can't make
I'm Scylla. I work for Demas.
Huh. Name doesn't ring a bell. You must not work at the office here in Cydonia, then. Well, nice to meet you anyway. I'm Leona Hawks, Deimos Staryard's corporate liaison.
Oh, they're the other
Anyone who deals with our office likely deals with me at some point.
Manufacturer.
I suppose I'll be seeing you around.
So, what is Deimos Staryard's relationship with the UC?
We've been contracted with the UC for decades to provide military-focused crafts for the entire fleet. It makes sense that they trust us, as Deimos is the oldest standing ship manufacturer in the settled systems. We were responsible for some of the major advancements in grav drive technology since the early days of its existence, so our legacy is strong.
What do you do here?
I coordinate between Deimos Corporate and the other operations, such as the Star Yard itself, and the mining operations here on Cydonia. Deimos Star Yards Corporation is a complex entity, given that the different divisions have different goals and priorities. My job is to make sure those are all in alignment.
Okay, ladies. Drinks? Don't have to ask me twice. Yes.
I wanted to check. There's something else going on here. It's Trevor.
People always ask me what I think about it.
I didn't even quite hear what that was about. This is just... Whoa!
I'll bring it up
If you
again.
notice any of the miners exhibiting
Is that normal? Nobody else is freaking out, so I assume so.
Always nice to kick back at the Broken Spear after a long day.
Look at this place. I can't imagine being cramped down here, choking on the fumes and the dust. No trees, no grass. It's depressing.
I mean, kind of. Also kind of cool, to be honest. Assume I'm going the right way. Just pure rock. This is rock bottom. Quite literally.
You know, I believe we've got the best mining team ever assembled here.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Cydonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose.
So... you must be the boss around here?
Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining
Nice leather
coach.
jacket.
Go for this, go for that. You know how it is. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got the promotion to mining director about 6 years ago, after the old boss retired. Some of the older guys resent me, but I give everyone a lot of leeway as long as they meet their quotas. So that keeps them happy enough.
Okay. Fair enough. What's with the klaxons and the detonation announcement I heard?
Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt
you
the
worry
rumble when
about
the
it?
detonations actually go off.
Yeah, I did.
That's all it is. Not too bad, eh?
I guess so. Well, now I'm even more concerned that particle detonations are happening around me all the time. Breaking with subterranean particle detonation, what's that?
Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay. Well, I'm now even more concerned.
Oh, come on, mate. It's perfectly
Come on,
safe.
mate.
We're miles away, so all we get is a little jiggle now and again. Just make sure to hold the railing when going downstairs and you'll be fine.
Okay, so how goes the mining operation here on Mars?
Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment, but we work hard and make up for it. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn is responsible for supplying UC naval vessels. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I used to do mining work for Argos. I was hoping you'd have work, but it doesn't sound like it.
Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now. Unless maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books.
Hey, whispering awesome. Well, depends on what it is, but let's see what you've got.
Great! I promise it's nothing that'll get anyone in any kind of trouble.
Okay.
See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right?
I see it, yep.
I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though.
I don't understand where I come into play.
I'm getting there. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first.
You sure you're not just exploiting me for free labor?
Of course not. I'll pay you out of my own pocket.
Okay.
I care about my miners, even if corporate doesn't understand our struggles down here. I'm willing to put in some sacrifices to help. That's just the kind of guy I am. If I had the credits to buy all the equipment myself, I would. But this is the next best thing.
Okay, why not just hire more miners?
Yeah, don't you think I want to? Corporate sets the contracts and they're not giving out anymore, so we work with what we've got. Something to do with insurance, benefits, and other liabilities. So I don't make the rules.
Okay, sounds easy, I'll do it.
When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Okay. Do I have... Gather iron. Okay. Do we have any iron here? I guess we do.
I'm under orders not to engage with non-personnel.
I can't imagine being...
No! No! Stop it! You're going to kill someone.
No, I'm mining, lady. Mind your own business. There we go. There's one more. Might as well mine a little bit more for ourselves. Let's go to the bin.
Not having any trouble mining the ore, are you?
No. Working on it.
This unit is
Okay,
not
so,
designed
what now?
for
Okay.
pleasant
I can see
conversation.
you're serious about helping me.
Yep, dropped it off.
Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our director of mining operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval.
Wait, you want me to become his assistant?
We just need you to take the job until we get the approval signed. Then you can quit, keep it, or do whatever. It's not as bad as it sounds. Worst case scenario, you may have to go fetch some stuff for him and go over his messages. It'll be easy, I promise.
Would it just be easier to ask him to approve it?
You don't think I've tried? Like I said, the guy is literally useless without his assistant. I don't even know if he knows how to actually use a computer. And everything Deimos does is so mired in bureaucracy because of their contracts with the UC. Which means, unfortunately, we need to do all the things by the book if we want them done at all.
Okay.
Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
You're jumping through a lot of hoops to get those miners the equipment that they need.
Yeah. I care about the working class, Sarah, okay? I'm a working class hero. Was born on the mean streets of Neon. Without a fancy British accent. So, yeah, I care about them. Jumping through all the hoops. Basically Sonic the Hedgehog.
Word of advice. Don't mess with I thought it was just a couple of nests.
Let's go back outside, I guess. Actually, let me see. Alright, know that. Show that I'm... Oh, I see. We go out there. Okay. It's in space. This does look really cool though. Like, look at that. I take a picture over here. Just of the photo mode. Why not? Who knows? Looking at these things, and sometimes I think they might be good thumbnails, but then I, after the episode, check other options, so. But the game is also very beautiful, so I don't think it's a bad thing to just sometimes take a little second and appreciate how the game looks. Back to the grasshopper.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
I don't like the hesitation.
Do you, Captain?
Right. Let's see. Take off. Where do I have to go? We're there. Nice. Roll there. Moon of Mars.
Welcome to Deimos Star Yard. If you have business, feel free to dock.
What I'm trying to do.
Acknowledging your hail. Deimos Star Yard is open for business 24/7. You're clear to dock.
How do I dock? Okay, just have to get closer. I don't know. I want to crash into this place. Alright, board, I guess.
How can I be of service, Captain?
It's cool that I actually now looked at the gravity, and here we're not floating because the gravity is 1.
The United Colonies was born.
Very cool.
I wish Deimos was exclusively a military contractor.
Sales computer. There you go. Job posting, executive assistant. Apply for job executive. Seeking a highly motivated individual to assist the executive in charge of mining operation and day-to-day responsibilities. Prior executive assistant experience preferred but not necessary. Must be willing to relocate to Cydonia. Internship is unpaid with option for permanent role at end of contract. Duties and responsibilities. Providing administrative assistance, which may include drafting and editing communications on the executive's behalf and keeping memos. Managing the executive's daily calendar. Organizing meetings and appointments. Performing minor accounting. Required skills and qualifications. Strong interpersonal skills. Written and verbal communication skills. Time management and organizational skills, ability to proactively solve problems and make decisions in the interest of the executive, ability to multitask. How do I apply for it? There we go. How many years of experience do you have as an executive, administrative, or other corporate assistants? I would say, since it's at experienced, appreciated but not required. I think being honest would be bad. I mean, sure, we could have a chance, but like, let's say 1 to 4 years. We're like a newbie assistant. What is the highest level of education you have completed? Got a master's degree. You will now be asked a series of questions to help us assess your competence for this role. Please answer honestly, to the best of your ability. The executive wants you to bring them whiskey neat. What does that mean? Trick question. Executives aren't allowed to drink on the job. Ooh. About 43 milliliter shot of whiskey served in glass room temperature. Full glass of whiskey with 2 chilled whiskey stones. 2 thimbles of whiskey. 2 drops of water in a chilled glass. What's this? I don't know. VIP arrives at the office for a meeting with the executive, who's inexplicably running late. What should you do? Stay in the client with jokes until the executive arrive. Reschedule the client's meeting with the exec for another time. Offer drinks, apologize, assure that the exec will return soon. Let's say that. Offer drinks, apologize. Malfunction prevents the executive's starship from starting up, and they need to go to an important off-world meeting soon. What course of action do you take? Offer them to use your old banged-up ship. Contact the client and cancel the meeting, reschedule for another day. Use the company's credits to immediately charter an expensive luxury craft. Get their ship towed to the shop. It's okay if they are late. I'd say we reschedule. I don't know. While handling the executive's email, you come across a message from someone claiming to have damaging information about the executive. What should you do? Take the info to the board of directors so they can handle it. Ignore the email completely and block the sender. Confront the exec and blackmail them in hopes of getting a big raise. Ask the executive how they want it handled, then never speak of it again. The executive contacts you and asks you to see them in their office in the middle of the night. You can tell they are drunk. What do? Immediately go to their office, take care of them until they're sober up, ignore them and go back to sleep, contact security and let them deal with it, go and do whatever they want, even if it would damage their character. Immediately go to their office to take care of them until they sober up. Sure, let's submit our application. So, thank you for your interest in Deimos and submitting your application. We will review your skills and experience and let you know if we feel you're a good match for the position. We appreciate you choosing Deimos. Okay. Not sure if that went well or
Deimos
not.
builds some of the toughest ships in the settled systems. That's probably why the UC Navy continues to contract with them to this day.
Yes, so.
Welcome to Deimos. A historic partnership, bringing an even
Oh,
brighter
I think we did the thing. Can we just fast roll back to... Okay, so do I have to, like, always go first to... Mars? I want to go to Deimos. I wanted to go to Mars, Cydonia. No. Oh, I can just travel. There you go. Still figuring out the basics.
Be advised, you are entering United Colony space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned. And we're done.
I guess there's a chance at some point that I have contraband. They, like, fail the scan? I don't know. A little bit nerve-wracking. Right? Let's land in Cydonia. I hope we had a good application there for a job. But who knows? And maybe it also doesn't matter. It could also very well be that it's really just throwing our head in the ring and letting him take care of things. Could very well be.
Used to think I was Vanguard material.
Woohoo! Look at the gravity here. That's amazing. I love that the places have different levels of gravity. Little thing, but kind of makes me happy.
Nice.
Rivka?
For
Why do you have a name?
I guess.
Why do you have a name? Why are you a name character? Why do you have a shiv? Okay, maybe don't cough.
Sorry, I don't really have much.
Yeah, please see a
People
doctor.
always ask me, Gory?
Hey,
Don't worry.
Trevor.
We're gonna make sure you get that job.
Well, I filled out the application.
Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in.
Okay. How can I gain access to the HR computer?
I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity.
Okay, isn't HR going to think it's odd all applications were deleted?
Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point, though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look, see yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot.
Okay. Sounds easy enough, I'll do it.
That's the spirit? Believe me, this is gonna help everyone.
I hope so.
By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
Okay, thanks. I bet Sarah is elated about this, but he better not fuck us over because I'm doing this for the workers of Mars.
What a day, huh?
Cannot trick me.
Did you know Deimos makes the majority of the ships for the UC Navy? If you ask me, that's a hell of a lucrative contract.
Sometimes I feel like these mines just run
Quite busy here, so can we like rest here if
That's thanks to me.
until 5 p.m. Will they go to their happy hour? Local time. 6, so we need like 11 hours. Like that. Let's do 10 hours. This way it should be now 4:30. Should leave shortly. They're still not gone. Hurry up! Go to your happy hour. Announcement. Have to wait a little bit, baby. Oh, where's the coffee? Machine not working. Who are you?
Do you? I'm a bit busy at the moment. Lots of business operations.
From distant systems to Cydonia every day, Lux Condominiums has premium apartments available to rent.
I'll just
Whether you need single, double, or family occupancy, Lux
wait another hour.
Inquire today.
Can't. Okay. Detected. Well, I mean...
Do your part to keep Cydonia graffiti-free.
Graffiti-free? Oh. Can I blend in here? Wait. Okay. Let's wait 1 hour. I mean, they... Or not just... It'll be now 5 p.m. What? Local time? Oh, it's almost 5 p.m. Are you not leaving? It's happy hour.
Unless you're a Deimos employee, I can't really help you.
Isn't she going to her happy hour? Time. 1 more hour.
Okay, ladies. Drinks?
Okay.
Don't
Maybe they're a
have to
little
ask me
late.
Twice.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go and try to beat the rush.
Just hanging out here. Let's do it. Job applications. Can I view it? Top candidate, strongly recommended extending an offer to this guy for the position. Okay, that's pretty good. Actually, so I did well. Position adequately, but stumbled on question 4. Other candidates show more promise. Hold on, this implicate. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't delete all of them. Seems high based on test, however, would prefer candidate with more experience. Delete. Experience none. Test scores are perfect, but lack of experience and education are a major concern. Consider for temporary contract. Nope. Okay, we're just doing whatever. Perfect scores. This would be an ideal candidate, but there are concerns that they may be overqualified. I'm just doing what Trevor said. Like, I probably would have left some of the other ones, but mining equipment. I know this isn't the right place to bring this up, but I can't seem to get a response from Peter. Our tools are falling apart, and we really need new ones. Can you ping him, maybe? Throw a wad of paper at him. He has attention something. It's an executive for crying out loud. I know he's someone's rich son, but this is getting ridiculous. Company reminder, due to new regulation, the United Colonies market on all new ships from January 1st, 2331 onward require coolant pumps grade E or above. We should be compliant as of last year, but please triple check all coolant pump purchases and installations so we can continue to bring our products to all citizens in the settled systems. Where to find good whiskey? He's at it again. Peter seems to think the messaging program is some sort of search function again. At least he's using the computer, I guess. Oh. Okay, we did what Trevor wanted us to do. Let's head down. Probably would have been hired even without deleting those.
Do you know why they call this the Red Planet?
Trust me, this is the best shop, and I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant.
You got a new job?
Congratulations.
What happens if they figure out what we're doing?
They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously. No worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there.
Okay. You bad about the other applicants?
Not really, and neither should you. Either those applications were old and those people have moved on, or as soon as you disappear after this, they'll get to hiring again.
That's fair. I'm ready for the next step of your plan.
Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
I have a feeling it won't be that easy, but... And again, who knows? Oh, that's the Peter Brennan guy. Kinda didn't connect the dots there. Yeah, let's go back up. At least we get our workout in. But with that low gravity, we can just should be able to just jump up these stairs. Hey, Peter.
Mining must be a fun job, or else why would we keep getting so many applicants?
Yeah, sure. That's exactly
You're finally back.
But it
I
is.
feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant?
I'm here now, ready to work.
Good. Now, let's make... You look a bit different than I remembered. Did you go to Enhance? No. Now I remember. They told me they sent me someone new. Anyway, they told me you were a strong candidate for this job. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how well you do.
Thank you.
Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work.
Sure, just pop me at your computer and I'll get you a message.
Not quite. I need you to do something much more important before you get to that. I'm expecting a personal shipment. I'm not sure why, but the last time this happened, my assistant ended up speaking to Governor Hurst about it. Now, run off and get it for me.
Okay, what happened to your last assistant?
I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about.
What do you do exactly?
Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No, strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we?
Oh boy.
Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that's the... All right, new assistant. I keep forgetting.
This guy. Can you tell me about yourself?
I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no.
There. What's in the shipment?
What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember. But it is important, that I know.
Does this guy have amnesia? Okay.
Have a good one.
Well,
The United Colonies Department of Labor would like to...
I don't know what this is about, but it feels very, very shady.
And any injuries or mistakes you incur while suffering the effects of overwork or exhaustion can also harm your company's bottom line.
How much?
You look hurt.
Get that it's a leap of
Might want to
faith,
head on
but
over to
I
Reliance.
Speak to Governor Hurst.
Glenn will get you back.
Oh, that's...
beat the odds.
Governor Glenn Hurst.
Ah, hello. Welcome. I don't usually have time to speak with random people off the street, but I'd be happy to help if it's something quick. What can I do for you?
Actually, there's something important I need from you.
Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me.
Well, let's ask a little bit. What is Cydonia known for?
You mean besides being the most important city of industry to our proliferation across the galaxy? Well, this is the home of Deimos Star Yards, which perfected grav drive technology and made honest-to-goodness space travel truly possible. And to this day, our mines and manufacturing are instrumental in delivering resources used throughout the United Colonies. We may not outshine fancier cities like New Atlantis on its surface, but without Cydonia, there would be no United Colonies.
Fair. What's there to do around here?
Cydonia's not much of a tourist destination, unless you're interested in humanity's first major colony outside of Earth. But if you're not here for work and you're looking to kill some time, I'm told the Martian surface is great for hiking.
Oh.
Beautiful scenery, assuming you like shades of red. If you're looking to kick back after that and experience Martian nightlife, the Broken Spear is as good a local watering hole as any.
Okay. What's it like being governor of Mars?
Well, I've been appointed governor, going on 20 years now, I believe. Every day, I am passionate about serving the hard-working people of Mars. I look out for their interests, I support their prosperity, and in return, they help make the United Colonies a shining beacon of hope for humanity.
Shining beacon of hope.
If you ask me, there's nothing better than that.
If there are any... Well, work around here for someone like me?
Considering I don't really know you, I'm not sure how to answer that. But Cydonia is a beacon of industry. There's plenty of work to go around. If you have mining experience, you may wish to check with whoever the current Deimos mining director is. Or maybe check with the Deimos Star Yard corporate office. If those aren't your speed, then there are a number of local businesses that are always looking for help.
Okay. Well, Governor Hurst, I'm here on behalf of Peter Brannon.
Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you?
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's okay. You can drop the act with me.
Interesting. It appears Governor Hurst is well aware of our exploits.
If by exploits, you mean what your friend is doing for Cydonia, and not your work for Constellation, Ms. Morgan, you're right on the money.
Eh?
So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type.
I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you?
Okay. How do you know so much about me?
Word travels fast around Cydonia. It's my business to know these things. Frankly, I'm not worried about you. As long as you play your cards right, it'll stay that way.
Yeah, I think we're fine. It's just like, I'm impressed. Well, I'm looking for Mr. Brandon's personal shipment. He said you might know what happened to it.
Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first.
Of course you do.
Since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet.
See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this.
Okay, so... If your craft was stolen by pirates, why not ask Sistaff?
Oh, it's a few reasons.
Okay. Something shady is going on with that ship.
Also, it's a bit of an embarrassment for a sitting governor to lose a ship. So I'd rather that not get out. I'm sure you understand.
Why is it important to destroy the ship?
Well, this is a tricky situation indeed. Not to get bogged down in details, but assuming this is the work of pirates, it's best to destroy the ship and everybody on board. Makes it cleaner for insurance purposes.
Is that so? Well, deal. I do this for you and you get me the shipment.
Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.
I'm discreet. I'm an honest scoundrel. Well, I think this is a good time to take a break, and then next time we will hunt down his ship and see what other shadiness is going on here in Cydonia on Mars. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Starfield. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Starfield very soon. Until then, have a great time.